Once upon a time there was a little girl who lived in a little house in Bootle. Now this little girl didn't really like reading books.
The television in her house, which was the size of the living room, was plenty enough for her, watching it for hours while her homework would go unwritten.
That was until one day when everything changed.
Go and see your grandmother today, for I hear she is poorly and I know you would cheer her up. Take over this basket with bread I have just made and this fresh pot of butter, her mother said.
But she didn't want to go. Her favourite television show was on, but her grandmother had no way to watch. Only books. A whole heap of books.
Uninterested and desperate to stay, wide-eyed at her mother, she would say, "What happens if I got lost along the way?"
But her mother knew better, and she would proclaim,
"You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose."
She knew what this meant.
She closed the door, locked it and put the key carefully into the pocket of her dress. Then she headed off to start her journey. There were several roads around, but it did not take her long to find the one she was looking for, the one with the paved yellow bricks.
It was a simple route, not far to go, one which she had walked 1,000 times, but somehow, in her anger, she had gotten lost.
She walked forward, crunch crunch, over the snow and through the woods towards the other light. In about 10 minutes she had found it.
Grandma greeted the girl with a huge hug, taking the basket from her hand and encouraging her to make herself at her.
This was impossible. The room was covered in books. Books on the shelves, books on the window ledge, even books hanging from the ceiling.
The little girl thought it was odd, but she also wanted to see what all the fuss was about. How can this collection of paper ever compare to the wonders of her television?
"Where are the children's books, please?" she asked. "They're over there on the lower shelves. Would you like me to help you find one with lots of pictures in it?" "No, thank you," the little girl replied. "I'm sure I can manage."
If she was going to do it, she was going to do it properly.
And properly meant the biggest and most enticing book she could find. Her eye spotted one across the room. She grabbed it with 2 hands and lugged it back to her seat.
As she began to open it, she felt the book come alive. She was transported to this magical land, far from her grandmother's, where humans could fly, where animals could speak and great battles were fought.
That's when she knew that although she'd reached her grandmother's house, her journey had not come to an end. In fact, it had only just begun, for she had discovered a magical, amazing and wonderful world in books. For one little girl from Bootle, everything had changed.